guys, it's Jessie here. I am back with another video, and today's video is going to be setting up my March budget. So the last couple of months I have shown you my budget overview. I've already put everything down on paper and I just kind of go over everything with you. This month we're going to try setting things up together. So I don't know how the filming of this is going to be. I don't have the best lighting. I don't have the best angle. Hopefully it turns out. But we're going to be setting up March's budget. I cannot believe March is here already, and I'm super psyched. So we're going to just turn to March here in my planner. This is the Happy Planner. I love the Happy Planner for the ring system because you can put pages in and out. You can move things around. It's just very customizable, and I love it for my budget for that reason. So what I have already done is set up my monthly view. This is where I put in all of my transactions. I keep track of all my transactions with a color coding system. Where is my little card? So you guys can see my color coding. Here it is. Moving it forward from February, you can kind of see all of my transactions there in February. What I do is I have these stickers that I have made myself, and they're actually all here in the back of my planner. I've just punched them and stuck them in here. All of my budgeting stickers with the color coding, as well as some payday stickers that I've made there. And that's what I use in my monthly view. So I keep track of all of our transactions. So here in blue, you see I already have all of my monthly bills laid out, where they fall, because obviously those transactions are going to happen on those days. That's when they're due. So my bills are in blue. I use this light purple for groceries, pink is gas, green is cash, yellow is sinking funds. So anything that is going to have to come out of my sinking funds, which I have in a separate checking account from kind of the rest of our money. Every week I transfer money from our main checking account to our sinking funds checking account, and we are saving for certain things for our sinking funds, and I will link that video for you guys if you are interested in seeing what we are currently saving for. And that's what this savings pig here is. This is keeping track of how much we currently have at the beginning of the month in our sinking fund savings. So that number goes up or down every month based on what we put in and what we spend. This month, for example, in our sinking funds, we have an Amazon Prime payment that needs to be made. So that is already in there as well because that's due on the 4th. Any payments that I make to credit cards is in this kind of darker pink color. We are currently striving to pay off credit card debt. So that is kind of our main goal for budgeting right now, is to, you know, spend as little as possible on our everyday expenses so that we can send as much money as possible to our outstanding debt. Purple here is eating out. We aim to have very few of those in our month. You guys will see my eating out budget here shortly. And then orange is other, so anything that doesn't kind of fall into those categories. We have like a miscellaneous line item in our budget, and that's kind of what that orange sticker goes to. So if I am at the grocery store on the 8th and I spend $100 at Walmart, I will stick down a purple, little light purple sticker here and write that I was at Walmart and it was $100. I have a whole separate video on how I track my transactions, so I will link that for you guys as well. So this is kind of already set up. I have some sticky notes here that tell me about some things that might possibly have to come out of sinking funds this month outside of the Amazon Prime, which I know is for sure. We might need an oil change this month. It might actually be able to wait till next month. We have not been driving a lot. And the boys are going to need haircuts, so that's about what we'll spend on haircuts. And then that's just kind of a reminder for me so that I know kind of what to expect coming out of that account. Along the side here, I have a little spot where I'm going to write down our sinking fund deposits so that I can kind of keep track of how much money I have sent over week to week. I aim to send over at least $100 a week for our sinking fund. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but that's the aim. And then this little sticky note here I use to write down my husband's petty cash items. So anything that he buys for work that he'll then be reimbursed for goes here. So that's kind of a look at my monthly spread. I wanted to do an overview of that before we got into the nitty-gritty of actually writing out my monthly budget. So the way that I've been doing my monthly budget is I have been punching just plain old computer paper and decorating it and sticking it in my planner. I'll show you guys, I'll link you guys to February's budget overview so you can kind of see that. But what I decided to do moving forward is I purchased these paper packs from the Create 365 brand specifically for the Happy Planner. The computer paper that I was using and trimming down and punching was great in terms of budget because I already had everything on hand, so it didn't cost me anything. But it was pretty thin, and I was finding that my pens were shadowing and stuff, so I just wanted something a little bit thicker, and I also wanted something just a little bit more fun. So we're going to move to March here, and where I actually keep my budget is in this section here. Let me remove this. Before the monthly section. So you have your beginning of the month, kind of currently, birthdays, top events. I don't really use this too much, but it's there already in my planner. And then you have like March's cover page, and then you move into the monthly spread and then the weekly spreads. And I'm going to stick my budget right in here before the month begins. So I kind of want to match this aesthetic a little bit. So I want to find a piece of paper that I know is going to match. So obviously the black and white will match, but that's not really very fun. So let's see if we can find a colored paper that will kind of go with this. This pack from the Happy Planner was $4.99 at Hobby Lobby. I used a coupon and did not spend that much on it. And it comes with 40 sheets of paper, and they're in these various designs. So there's this pink paper with the dot grid for sort of list making. There is this kind of bluey green color with the dot grid as well. It says brain dump, and that actually seems like it matches pretty well, so we might do that. Or the pink would be a nice contrast. Might do that as well. There's this bright green that says notes. That doesn't really go, so we're not going to use that one. And then there's the purple, which says be productive, which is super pretty, but I don't think we're going to use that one either. I think we're actually going to go with this pink color, just for a nice contrast. So I'm going to pull out a couple of sheets of this pink, and it does have that design on both sides, so that'll be handy. And what I have done in addition to this paper is I've designed some stickers for decorating. So there are about a bajillion Etsy shops that sell budgeting stickers. Caffeinated Kate, Sarah Marie Stickers, Planner Kate are just the top three that kind of come to mind immediately for me. I'll link those shops down below if you guys are interested in buying budgeting stickers. I personally don't buy budgeting stickers because I have the ability to make them myself. So I did that. I made just a single sheet of stickers here for March. I've got them in the back of my book here. And this is just to decorate the page up a little bit. It's completely unnecessary, but I thought, why not? So I'm going to get started setting up my budget pages, and you guys are going to come along with me. That was a very long introduction to tell you guys what's going on in this video. So let's get started. Alright you guys, I sincerely hope you're going to be able to see this. When I did my budgeting video last month, it was slightly out of focus. I don't know, the more I zoom in, the less focused my camera gets. I don't know if the autofocus is just struggling or what, but hopefully you guys will be able to see. So the way that I have done the budget in the past is on the very first page of the budget, I do my debt update. So every month at the start of the month, I take a look at all of my debt totals. That's all of my credit cards, our mortgage payment, our truck payment, all of that, and I add everything up as sort of a snapshot of what our debt looks like at that month. And that way I can compare month to month and see those numbers going down. Now that's not something I'm going to share with you guys because my husband and I are not comfortable currently sharing our amount of debt. That is something you guys will see at some point, probably once it's all been paid off. But right now, I'm not going to share that. I am going to set the page up, though, really quickly with just the stickers. So I have this debt update sticker, and I did not cut these very well. I need a new blade on my Silhouette machine, I think. But I'm just going to lay this sticker down, and that's really all I'm going to do for this page, and I'm going to try to line it up and cover up all the things up top, because I don't really need that. It's slightly crooked, but it's there. So I will just list out my debts, lowest to highest. We do use the snowball method from Dave Ramsey to pay our debts. So I will list them smallest to largest, and then I will add everything up. And I also usually on this page will write down what my credit score is in this moment. I know that Dave Ramsey is not interested in credit scores. He does not care about credit scores, but I do. I guess my husband and I are Dave-ish. So I just like to, again, take a snapshot of what my credit score looks like in the moment so I can compare month to month. And I use Credit Karma to get my credit score. I know it's not super accurate or anything, but it's good enough for comparison's sake. So that's the only thing I'm going to do for this page. But on the back of this page and sort of this open layout, I'm going to do my monthly budget, and then I'm going to do my weekly check-in. So my husband and I are actually paycheck budgeters. We get paid once a week, so we typically budget week to week. But I actually like to have, in addition to my weekly budgets and my weekly breakdowns, I like to have an overall monthly budget. And that's what we're going to be setting up here and working on for the most part. So let me just make sure you guys are in frame, centered, and all of that. I do not have the greatest setup for this particular style of video. Alright, so I think that's good. Again, hopefully you guys can see. So I'm going to take my sticker here that I made that just says March budget, and this is just to make it pretty, you guys. There's no functionality here. I'm going to kind of turn this so that I can, and I could line it up with this bottom line. That might actually make it easier for me, but I feel like it's wasting paper if I do that. So I'm going to try to line it up sort of straight here. Luckily these stickers that I have are removable, so when I inevitably have to pull it up because it's completely ridiculously crooked or whatever, I can do that. I think that'll work. I don't think that's going to impede that hole too much, so maybe moving forward I'll use that top line just to not waste paper. But okay, so then I have these stickers here for my income and my expenses. So I'm going to pull this up. And I'm going to lay it down directly underneath my little thing here. And again, stickers are unnecessary. They just make it pretty. You can absolutely write this all out in pen if you're doing your own budget. You don't have to have the pretty stickers, but you know, if you want pretty stickers, I'll link those shops below so you can check them out. So this is income, expected, actual, and then the variances. So I'm going to, if I can locate my ink pen. I'm not prepared for this video apparently. Let's see. Where is my pen? I have a zillion pens here, but these are not the pens that I want. So there's my Pilot. So the ink pen I'm going to be using is my Pilot G2 in the 0.7 size, I guess. And we're just going to list our income here. I'm not actually going to show the income, but I'm going to list, I guess, our sources of income. March. Okay. So, paycheck 1 is going to be Patches. Stop it. Immediately she's going to start barking. March 4th. Nope. Already, I've made a mistake. It's March 5th. Oh boy. Got my little correction tape here, which is not going to look as pretty on the pink paper as it would on white, but it's okay. This is the Tombow Mono Correction Tape. It's the mini one. I bought a whole pack from Amazon, and it works okay. So March 5th, March 12th, March 19th, March 26th. I also typically would write YouTube here because I do sometimes receive income from YouTube, but I will not be getting a YouTube paycheck this month of March. I don't get one every month. It's usually every other month or every 3 months. There's a threshold that you have to meet before Google AdSense will pay out YouTube earnings, and you have to hit $100, and I do not hit $100 every month. What else? I'm just going to put any miscellaneous income that we receive. So, you know, if I babysit and we bring in income that way, or we sell something on Facebook Marketplace, that'll go under there. So those are all of the income sources, and then I will just write the expected and the actual and the variances off camera because we're not going to share that information. So I'm going to use one of these little divider strips here. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough room to fit. Yeah, I definitely need a new blade on my Silhouette machine. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit everything on here. I'm hoping that I will, but we're just kind of going with it. I haven't used this system before, so I don't know how I can kind of make everything fit, and I just lost all the sunshine I had coming through my window, so hopefully the quality of this didn't just degrade past the point of usability. There, just a little separation. So I have this expenses sticker. And it just says expenses, estimated actual, and the variances. That way I can kind of keep track of what I think our totals will be, and then what the actual is, and then the variances, whether it was more or less than what we thought. So let's see. And I kind of like the little bullet points that are already listed here. It just makes it really easy to line everything up. Okay, so our first kind of expense bill is our lot rent. My husband and I own our mobile home, but we rent the lot that it sits on, so we have both a mortgage and a rent, which is kind of unusual, I think, for some people, but it is what it is. That is due on the 1st, so I'm just going to write a little 1 there. We expect that that will be $506, and that's actually the actual amount. I know that for sure, but we're just writing it down as estimated for now until that payment goes out. Next up is our water bill, which we actually combine with our lot rent when we write the check for that. But this varies month to month. It's not always the same, so I like it to have a separate line item. And let me see, I think I already got that bill, so let me just take a quick look. Yep, $38.07 was our water bill this month, which is good. It was a little bit less than it was last month. I had said in last month's budget that it was a little bit high, and it has since gone back down to what it usually is. Then we have our, let's see, let's do these in order. Let me just pull out my planner and take a look at the order of everything. We have our Netflix bill. We do not have cable. We do all of our TV watching through Netflix and Hulu, so that's due on the 1st as well. And our Netflix is currently costing $13.99, it looks like. We'll write that down, and I think I'm definitely not going to have enough little line items here on my budget. I might have to use a second page, which is fine. So next we have our Spectrum bill, which is due on the 6th of the month, and I estimate that that is going to be $69.99. I'm sorry, $65.99. Our mortgage is due on the 10th, and we pay $281.91. That includes our homeowner's insurance. It's in an escrow account, so that is included, and we are actually about a year away from paying off our mobile home. It's a very affordable mobile home. When we made the purchase, we were trying hard to be responsible and not buy more home than we could afford. So very excited about that. We had a 9-year mortgage. Okay, so on the 13th we have Hulu. I just did it again. It's hard to focus on talking to you guys about what I'm doing and writing and the numbers. And I lost my correction tape. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, that's the only thing I can kind of say about writing on colored paper, is if I make a mistake, it's very obvious to see that. And maybe I should get erasable pens or write it in pencil, but this is working out fine for now. So on the 13th is Hulu, and we pay $5.99 for that. I heard that Netflix is going to be going up, and I also know that my Hulu is going to be going up soon because I'm in like a 1-year contract for $5.99, and then it's going to go up to $7.99. So that's a bummer. When bills go up, it's no fun, even if it is only a couple of dollars, but we like our Netflix and our Hulu enough that we're going to keep them even if they're more expensive. Again, I really hope you can see. I would have liked to zoom this in more, but I'm just worried that it's going to be blurry. I don't know if I need a new camera or what. So next we have our Boost Mobile, which is our cell phones. We are on a family plan, so we have 4 lines, and we pay, it's actually $120 a month for the 4 lines, and then we are paying an additional $10 for my husband, who is purchasing a phone through the company. It's actually only got like $10 left on it, so that bill will be going down. It was a very affordable phone. My husband had, I believe, dropped his phone down a manhole. He works in the plumbing business, and phones and plumbing don't mix. So he had purchased a new phone. It was like a $200 phone. And rather than take the $200, he just added $10 to our bill every month. This was a kind of our pre-Dave Ramsey journey. So, you know, instead of just paying it out of pocket for $200 and it would have been over and done with, he drug it out for over a year, but it's almost paid off now. We also had been paying a $7 phone insurance on top of that because we thought that with financing the phone, it's not really financing it because we didn't pay any interest or anything like that. It didn't cost us anything extra to do that, but we thought that we had to have insurance on it, and now we find out at the very end of the kind of payment period for that phone that we didn't have to have insurance all this time. So I dropped the insurance. So our bill, long story short, is going to be $130 this month, and then I think next month or the month after it'll drop down to $120, which is really good for 4 lines, unlimited everything, I think. I think we have a great deal. Okay, on the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, just for those of you that are interested, I guess, we have our truck payment. We did finance a truck. Again, this is pre-Dave, and it was actually the very first time we had ever not paid cash for a vehicle. So I don't know what to say about that, but we're going to be able to pay it off relatively quickly. So our truck payment is about $300. It's like $289 or something, and I just rounded up to $300 to make it easy. Same thing goes with our campers. So we own a travel trailer that sits on a annual campsite that we go to all summer long. It is like our vacation. We actually, you guys won't see the campsite, campground line item in my budget anymore because we actually went ahead and just paid that for the year. It was like $800 that we needed to put out. We had it, so we went ahead and paid that, so it's one less bill to worry about every month. So that will no longer show up here, but my camper obviously is going to have to get paid month to month, which is fine. And that is due on the 20th, and that bill is $200. And again, that's like $197 or something, and I round up. On the 23rd, we have our car insurance, which includes insurance for our truck, full coverage for our camper as well. Sorry, 23rd. And that actually just went down by a few dollars, which was exciting. So I need to look up what that bill is now because it has changed. $203.32. A little high. Michigan is known for the highest car insurance premiums in the whole country, I think. We have terrible roads. I think that has something to do with it. And it's no-fault insurance, so it is what it is. And then we also have motorcycle insurance. I'm just going to write bike insurance. And it's through a separate company because they were able to get us a better rate. And that actually just went down as well. What was it? It went down by like $1. Nothing major. But every dollar counts. Sorry you guys, my camera cut me off and I don't actually know where it cut me off, so hopefully you guys didn't miss too much. But I was just saying groceries, we do $125 a week. And there's 4 weeks in March, so $500 there. For gas, we do $50 a week. If it doesn't take $50 to put into our gas tank, whatever's left over, we actually just sink into a fund for, you know, when gas prices are higher or when we drive more or whatever. So it's $200 for that. What else do we have here? Cash. So my husband gets $50 a week and I get $10 a week. So that's, what, $240 for the month? And that's just spending money. You can call it whatever you want. Allowance, spending money, blow money, cash, whatever. We just call it cash. Eating out. We give ourselves $100 a month. We cut out eating out for a really long time and didn't eat out at all. And that didn't really work for us, so we're back to $100 a month. And sometimes we go over, we try really hard not to, but it is what it is. Then we have miscellaneous, so I have $100 just in the account for any miscellaneous stuff that I forget about in terms of the budget. Let me make sure you guys are in frame. Okay, you are. Again, I don't know how well you guys can see, but hopefully it's good. So that $100 is just for anything that we forgot to budget, basically. It's basically a buffer. And lastly, look at that. We're going to have enough room. I will just put my credit cards elsewhere, which is fine because I keep track of that a different way anyway. We have our sinking funds. So like I said, every week I try really hard to transfer at least $100 over into our sinking funds account for all of the things that we are currently saving for our sinking funds. Already linked that sinking funds video. This month we're trying to do $120 a week because we've decided that we are saving for new tires on my truck in addition to everything else. So it's going to be $480 this month instead of the usual $400. Alright, that's everything. So then I will just go through when we actually pay the things and write down the actual amounts, and then the variances for just keeping track of where we were over, where we were under for future budgets. I think that's everything. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. I'm amazed that that all fit perfectly like that. I did not plan it that way, but I'm psyched about it. So that's our March budget. I guess I could add everything up here just for reference, but again, there's some things left off here. Minimum payments on our credit cards, etc. So this isn't going to be entirely accurate, but close enough. This was kind of the compromise that I made with myself when it was time to start thinking about sharing my budget, was sharing but not oversharing. So you guys don't have an exact picture of our budget because you don't know our income, you don't know what we're spending in credit card debt, but it's enough that you guys can kind of see where we're at and how we do things, which is really the most important thing. My numbers aren't important so much as the method in which I budget that's going to be helpful for you guys. But I know there's some people that are curious. You know, they want to know what we're spending and how we're affording things, and so this was the compromise. Like, I will share as much as I can without oversharing, and I just messed that up. Ugh. Let me add this up off camera and I'll tell you guys the total because I messed it up. Alright, so the total is $3,593.17. Guess I'll write that down. Just for reference, and then that way when I go through the actuals we can see whether we stayed within budget or not. So that's my March budget. The other thing that I'm going to be setting up here is weekly budgets and weekly check-in. So I don't think I'm going to do that in this video. I feel like this video is long enough. If you guys want to see me set up our weekly check-in and our weekly budgets, let me know and I will do that in a separate video. And also, if you guys want to see me check in with my budget at the end of the month, so like a March budget recap, so you can see where we stayed within our budget, where we didn't, let me know. I'd be happy to do that as well. But for now, I'm going to stick this stuff back in my planner so I can see kind of what it looks like. I'm really happy with the way everything kind of fit on the page. So it will be my debt update in the beginning, in the front. And again, I apologize that I can't share that with you guys, but that's just the decision that my husband and I came to together. So it'll be my debt update, and then my March budget here, and then this page will go here and it'll have my weekly check-in, and that is just basically where I kind of check in with the different categories where we overspend, or not necessarily overspend, but like our variable things like groceries and gas and cash and eating out, just to kind of keep track of how much we're spending in those areas that aren't like super fixed expenses. And then I will probably break down weekly budgets as well, just like week to week. This bill is due this week. And if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. But for now, that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!